What we will be doing today is going over Metrix Learning 3.0. So you've received emails with information about the new changes that we've made, as well as a brief tutorial. But what Liz and I will be doing today is going over the customer side of things, some of the changes that have been made in Metrix. And what I think that you'll really find as an administrator is that the majority of the changes in Metrix Learning, it really all is the same. It's just a little bit more functional, different look and feel. All of the different features are there, but it's just updated. So what I'll do first is, this is the login page. So for your organization, you will switch over to 3.0 on March 2nd. And then on February 23rd, so next Monday, your customers will receive an email letting them know that these changes will be made, giving them a preview of the system, and then on 3.2 they'll actually go ahead and flip over. So if you would like to try out the system, any of these features we'll talk about today before the 2nd, the URL that you'll want to use is up at the top here. So that's the metrix30.metrixlearning.com. Again, on March 2nd, your own URL will flip over to this, but what you can do at this time is log into this website with your own login, take a look at the new features, kind of play around, give us feedback if you do have any, and then it'll switch over at the beginning of March. So I'm going to log in from the customer side of things first. When we log into the system, we are brought to the Jobseeker Dashboard. As you can see, this is where some of the changes to Metrix are. So you can see here that we have gone from a 6-step system to a 3-step system. When your customers log in for the first time, what they'll see on the front page here is just these steps 1 through 3. There will be a tutorial they can watch, but then these 3 steps. And as they add training, as they select a goal job, you will be able to see these different items populate here on the Jobseeker Dashboard. So as you can see, the Jobseeker Dashboard is here. And again, that will populate. I'll go over this in a little while. Step number 1 here in Metrix is to get started. So by clicking on step number 1, I'm brought to a page where I can either assess my skills or go directly to a goal job. So the Assess My Skills portion, we have a new feature in Metrix, Skill Profile and Job Fit. So this is how was there previously, but is being brought out more now. So what a customer can do is say that they aren't sure what they would like to do as far as a career. They want to use Metrix really for career exploration. What they can do is go to the Skill Profile page, and they can rate themselves from 25 to 150 different skills. So 150, that'll give you a more in-depth feel as far as the skills, but 25 would be more general. So what they can do here is rate themselves from none, beginner, intermediate, and advanced for each of the skills listed here. At the very bottom, there's a button for submit, so all the way down here. So again, what customers can do is they can rate themselves on all of these skills, and based upon their skills rating, when they do this, they'll be brought to their Job Fit page. What the Job Fit does in Metrix Learning is it takes into account those skills and how they're rated, and then based upon this, recommends job titles they might want to pursue based upon their skills and interests. So you can see here that we take this off of labor market data. You can see your different job titles, the number of people employed, yearly openings, a page they can go directly to Indeed.com here to search for a job, or what they can do is set this as their goal job and then go from there to taking training based upon their skills. For customers who already know what type of goal job they'd like to go into, they can skip directly to the job titles page. And here they can go through the up to 1,000, you can see here, over 1,000 different job titles from the Federal ONA database. So they can either search by keyword, alphabetically. If we click here, we can see the name of the title. We can see the task as well as the skills that are related. And if this is something I'd like to go into, what I can do is make this my goal job. From here, the next step would be to rate my skills. So I could rate my skills from none, beginner, intermediate, and advanced. These are directly related to my goal job. And then once I click submit, I'll be recommended different courses that I can take at the appropriate level. So what we've also done here is we've updated all of these courses, and you can see that where I rated myself a beginner, I have beginner level courses, intermediate, advanced, and so on. So another way that customers are able to look through the courses we have in Metrix are to go to Catalog and Search. So this will be our full course catalog. This lists all the different activities in Metrix. And you can see that some things have changed here in 3.0. So they can do a keyword search. They can search by Skillsoft, Medcom, and Prove It still. But also you can see here on this page there's a couple of different new features. If a customer has already added a course to their My Plan, they'll see a check mark next to the name of the course, and they can edit the activity directly from this page. You can also see that there is a column for mobile ready. So there's about 700 to 800 Skillsoft courses that are compatible with tablets. So if the course is tablet friendly, you'll see a little tablet icon here. If a customer is interested in learning more about the course, they can click on the name of the activity, and they can click to add it to their My Plan directly from here. To click Submit, I'll be brought to the My Plan, which I'll go ahead and review here in a moment. But you can see that once I've added the course, the check mark pops up next to the name of the activity. I can edit it directly from here. In addition, from the catalog page, there is kind of easy click links to view the certification tracks and skill tracks in Metrix. If I click on View Certification Tracks, I can see the different certification training that we have here in Metrix. So we have training for over 130 different industry-recognized credentials. You can see here at the bottom that it's grouped a little bit differently than it was previously. In addition, what we've done here is given an overview of what certification tracks are. For exams that do have prerequisites or educational requirements, we have quick links here for customers to be able to go to the different web pages of the certifying organizations, take a look into what's needed, as well as an explanation about what certification tracks are, test prep, and mentoring. So let's say, for instance, we wanted to become certified in Excel 2013. We can click on Desktop Certifications, Microsoft Office. You can see that there is little drop-down menus here, and if I click on Excel 2013, I will see the different activities listed, or that I should take them to train for the certification. I can add them all to my Plan here. Next, I'll bring you to skill tracks. So we've updated the skill tracks as well. We've taken Skillsoft Course groupings, and we have different skill tracks here. Again, skill tracks are for someone who wants to enhance a specific skill. They can take training in Microsoft Office, beginner or advanced. They can take basic computer skills, math, reading. For those of you who are interested in offering healthcare or do offer healthcare training, we have over 15 new healthcare skill tracks. So what we've done here is we've gone off those Medcom's course groupings, and we have the different training if someone wanted to go into Certified Nurse's Aid, for instance, or Introduction to Billing and Coding. They can take all the training here and add to their My Plan like this. So now I'll bring you to the My Plan page. One new feature of Metrix 3.0 is it now features a combined My Plan and My Report page. The customer will still go to the My Plan page in order to launch any activities. What they'll do is they'll click on the up arrow button under Action, and as you can see, if I hover over this, this will tell me I can launch the activity. They can also click the gear icon here. Courses are automatically set for due dates and reminder dates to be 30 days from when they actually add the course. They can edit these due and reminder dates with the gear icon. And the My Report page shows my progress in the system, what I've taken, passed, failed, overall time in the system. You can see here what's new are these different status levels: green for passed, orange for started, red for failed, and blank if not started. If I get an activity score of 80% or higher for any of these, I will be able to print a certificate of completion. That is the little diploma icon here. So, of course, that will give me a certificate with my name, the course that I took, and the date that I completed it, as well as the provider. So I'm going to bring us back to the Jobseeker Dashboard. So for customers who are starting out brand new, as they go through the system, this, as I mentioned, will be populated. The Jobseeker Dashboard has a couple of quick things they can take a look at. The My Progress section shows my progress in the system, what I've been taking, course completions. I can see my goal job listed here. We have a popular courses field. So for customers who want to take training that is, I guess, popular in the system, what we've done is we've looked into reports in the past 6 months of what customers are taking and made recommendations based upon this. Scrolling down to the bottom, jobs, this will bring them directly to Indeed.com, which I'll talk about in step number 3 here. And then certification. So for customers who are taking certification training, or maybe they're just taking courses or tracks of training that could help them qualify for a certification, you can see my progress here. So at the very bottom, we also have information about certifications, how they become certified, and so on. So we've gone through steps 1 and 2. Step number 3 is to find a job. This still links out to Indeed.com, so a job seeker can see the postings in their area. It will pull into account their location as well as their goal job, and they can take a look at postings. And this is actually a way that I recommend customers look at training to take too. Take a look at the postings in the area, the types of companies they'd like to work for. Based upon that, they can tailor their training. And one more thing I'd forgotten to mention here, it has the date that the license expires directly here on the dashboard, so they'll know that. So one more thing I'll show you from the customer side of things is the Help tab. So in Help, we have a couple of different options here. We've updated our tutorials so that they are through Metrix Learning 3.0. We have a user and certification FAQ. So these are both updated as well. For customers, the first thing we really recommend that people do is do a browser check to make sure that their computer settings are compatible with Metrix. One new feature of Metrix is it is now compatible with Google Chrome. So if they're using a PC, they can use Google Chrome or Internet Explorer. If they're using a Mac, they can use Safari as well as Google Chrome. So the browser check, again, will make sure that their computer settings are compatible, and coming up soon, we'll also be able to see if they have Java and Flash through the browser test check here, and we'll also give them instructions on how to download if needed. So I will show you the support page now. So our support page has changed a little bit. We have steps 1 through 3. If customers are having trouble launching courses, if they can't get something to work, we have our tutorials page, step number 1, take a look at those. We have a knowledge base of articles, common troubles that people have in Metrix so they can kind of self-troubleshoot. We have step-by-step as well as links to the tutorials. And then step number 3 here is if they need to get directly in contact with us at support, we have our support hours listed here, and then they can either create new support tickets or view their open or closed tickets as well. So this basically concludes Jobseeker side of things. What I will do quickly is take a look into the admin side of things. So when I log into an admin account, you can see this is the administrator dashboard. Everything across the top is the same except you have the administration tab up here. So the admin dashboard, this has some quick stats, so it makes it really easy for you to keep track of the progress of customers in the system. Quick stats here shows the total number of enrollments, course completions, training hours, and you can keep track of your license usage and distribution right here too. Certifications and measures, these will be coming up soon, but for organizations that offer certification, training, and testing, you'll be able to see quick stat information about your organization, the number of tracks that have been issued, vouchers issued, number of support certifications passed. And then measures over here. So for the majority of Skillsoft courses, this is kind of new for all of you admins here. Skillsoft now requires that customers take the course pre-test in order to then take the course test, which in turn gives them their final score. So when customers are launching Skillsoft courses, on the Progress and Test tab, the first thing that's listed on the top right is to take the course pre-test. They'll want to do this. The pre-test, of course, gauges their knowledge before they start out with the training. From the pre-test, they'll then go into the instruction simulation portion, and then finally they'll be instructed to take the course test. Where this measures thing comes in is we can take a look at the skills gain based upon where someone was before they started an activity, and afterwards these graphs will show this. So as admins, just kind of keep that in mind when you're talking to customers that in order to successfully complete the course, they'll need to do both the pre and course tests. Pre-test is not averaged into their overall score. And then this graph will show that information. And then finally, the two things here on this slide I'll talk about is the view reports. So you can still run reports as an administrator from the administration tab, which I'll show you momentarily. But these are some kind of quick reports on useful information you can run. And then, as an administrator, this is the systems notification section. So if something is being changed, updated, you can get notifications. It'll be across the top of the page. But also, these are some kind of helpful links and things that you can download as an admin. We have the technical requirements for Metrix, the administrator guide. We have ways that you can contact support. And then we also have downloadable flyers, templates that you can use to market Metrix 3.0 in your locations. So scrolling back up to the top, I'm going to go to the administration users and groups page. As I mentioned previously, as an admin, really everything will stay the same. It's still the same functionality. You will still add users and add groups in the same way that you do currently. So it's all the same steps there. Then for reports, you can either run the quick reports that are on the admin dashboard, or you can run the different reports under administration reports. So I'll go ahead and log out of this account here. I'm going to log back as my demo. So at this point, what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to open up the lines. I see that we have a couple of questions here, but we will make sure that everyone is able to ask questions now. So give me a minute while I just unmute everyone. All right, almost there. All right, so we have the lines opened up. If you do have any questions, feel free to ask them now. Really? So it sounds like we may have had a question in the background. If you could just go ahead and speak up. In addition, if you're afraid your question isn't going to be heard, maybe you're in a large room, you can feel free to use the chat box and send along any questions that you have.
Here. Yeah. Yes, I have seen that too. Pretendable lake, which they pretend to be giants, the bullets don't act like Napoleon.
All right, so we have a question here in the chat box in regards to the pre-test. So what I'll actually do is I'm going to log into my account and I'm going to launch a course so I can show you exactly what I was talking about here. So with Skillsoft courses, the majority of them have a pre-test associated associated. So what Skillsoft now requires is that customers take a pretest in order to be able to successfully get through the rest of the course. I'm just going to bring a course up here for you all to see, one that I haven't taken. Okay, so when I launched the course, you can see here this popped up in a separate window, hence the pop-up blocker is needing to be turned off. So let me just give this a second to load, and I'll show you exactly what we are talking about here. So when the course begins, you can see here there's a table of contents and progress and test tab. Customers will typically be brought to the course pretest first. So you can see here on the progress and test tab, which I always refer people to so they know where they are, is there's this part in the top right corner that says take course pretest. So Skillsoft courses require that customers take this pretest in order to be able to basically get through the rest of the course, and then the final thing is the course test. So for customers who don't take this pretest as the first thing, what will happen is they'll go through the instruction, they'll go through all the different quizzes within the course, and the completion status level at the top still won't be filled in. They won't have a course score. Ultimately, they need to take the pretest to get to the course test, which in turn gives them their final score. So as administrators, just make sure you let customers know that they will need to take the pretest to successfully be able to complete the portions of the course.
I'm not emailing. I'll read it. Yes. I don't know.
So we have another question here. Are you saying that Metrix is compatible with iPhones and tablets? So the Metrix system itself can be accessed from any of those. It's the Skillsoft courses that are not all fully compatible. So any courses that are fully compatible in the catalog, if you go to search, you'll be able to see the little icon for tablets. Let me think of one off the top of my head that is. All right, let's see here. Aha, okay, so for instance, these project management courses, a lot of them here are tablet friendly. So you'll be able to see this little tablet icon. Again, it's, Skillsoft really has been doing a lot as far as updating these over the past 6 months to 1 year. There's about 700 or 800 that are right now, so it's not all courses, but a lot of the newer ones, such as the newer aligned project management. Let me just take a look at the 2013 courses for Microsoft. Doesn't look like a lot of the Microsoft are. But again, searching here, you'll be able to see the ones that are mobile and tablet friendly. So you can see there's a couple of different ones here. So we have a question here. Signing up is the same as before. Yes, just to kind of reiterate, the process of adding people into the system, adding groups in, running reports is exactly the same. It's really just that administrator dashboard that has changed.
No.
All right, so we have a question/comment here. We're glad to hear that Metrix will now work in Google Chrome. Are the Skillsoft and Netcom courses now optimized and work in Google Chrome? Yes. So really, you can use either of those two browsers, Internet Explorer, Chrome, or Safari. So everything will work with those. Have new courses been added is another question that we have. So whenever Skillsoft comes out with new courses, they are added into the system accordingly. So they really come out with new things every quarter. Some of the new stuff that's come in, for instance, Six Sigma Greenbelt has updated some of their training for the first time in several years, so Skillsoft did that accordingly. For those of you who weren't familiar, Microsoft has 2013 courses, or Skillsoft has Microsoft 2013 courses, which are now in the system as well. So really it's kind of a moving target, so to speak, because Skillsoft really does update so regularly, but we do get more courses as they have them in.
I don't remember if I was page or crash.
All right, it sounds like we might have a question in the background. I just might not be able to hear you. Or you might just be talking. But if you do have questions and you're afraid I can't hear you, feel free to put them into the chat box and we'll address.
So this is actually Liz speaking now. If anyone, as Valerie had mentioned, if anyone does have questions, feel free to type them into a chat box, or feel free to ask them on here as well. So there was a question asked, when does this go live for Metrix 3.0? What will happen is on the 23rd, all customers will get an email saying that the Metrix site is flipping over. However, it will go officially live for both all admins and customers on March 2nd. So at that time, it'll be flipped over to the Metrix 3.0 look and feel. You'll still log in on the same URL. It's just kind of the look and feel that are being changed. So someone had asked just to review how you can sign up for courses through this new system. And really it's, similar to how you could last time. First there is the search option for the catalog. So an individual can either filter the search or go through keyword. This is a great option for those individuals who kind of know what they're looking for. If they're interested in Excel or Word, they can type in the keyword search there. In addition, these two tabs up here that say View Certification Tracks or View Skill Tracks, these two options actually give you bundled courseware for a particular skill or particular certification. As Valerie had mentioned, we have about 130 different certification tracks, so that helps an individual prepare to take the industry-recognized certification. They don't become certified simply by taking the training. They have to go to an outside testing center to become certified. And then the skill tracks, as Valerie had mentioned, we've updated those, and we have a lot more healthcare skill tracks in our system now, so an individual can kind of go there if they're not really sure what they want to take, but might know, they want to update customer service or their office administrative skills. They can go to the skill tracks there. So this just kind of shows you the different skill tracks we have. So really, it's, the two-way or a couple ways that individuals can sign up. And in addition, if individuals really aren't sure what they want to take within Metrix, but might be interested, in, okay, I have these skills, what kind of occupations are a good fit for me, and then what kind of skills do I need to upgrade? At that point, they can go through the steps 1 through 3 on the home page. So it's a little different from the 6 steps that we've had in the previous Metrix. But if they were to go to step number 1, as Valerie had showed, they could assess their skills. From their skill assessment, they'd then be recommended different occupations, and then at that time also have some automated remediation. So we actually recommend individuals particular courses based on their skill level and occupation of interest. Hopefully that answers your question okay. So there was a question asked, when 3.0 actually does launch, will customers' usernames and passwords still work, or will they have to update them in the new system? So what will happen is the customers, existing customers, everything will work completely the same way, and it's same with your administrator. So your username and passwords will remain the same. The only thing that's really changing is the look and feel to the system. Other than that, they can log in with their existing information, and we're also notifying the customers as well that this is happening, letting them know, we're changing our look and feel, everything's the same, but here, check it out and take a look in the system, see what's changed. There's a question asked, where are the tutorials in tutorial videos within 3.0? And they're actually located under the Help tab. So we've actually added a few different options under the Help tab, and one of those is the tutorials. So as Valerie had mentioned, we have all new tutorials for Metrix 3.0, helping individuals, get familiar with the system, understanding the different avenues they can take to add courses, if they're having technical trouble, etc. We also have different FAQs for them, one specifically for certifications, as we know they're becoming extremely kind of prevalent for those individuals, and then the support, which they can contact us if they're having technical difficulties, as well as the browser check is now embedded under the Help tab. So if anyone has any questions, we'll wrap up. You can feel free to type them into the chat. And as always, you can contact either Valerie or myself if you do have questions along the way. As Valerie mentioned, if you want to take a look into Metrix 3.0 before it switches over March 2nd, you can go to the URL on the top here, the metrix30.metrixlearning.com, use your existing login credentials, and you can kind of get a look and feel for the system. But if there's no further questions at this time, we thank you for participating in the webinar today. We're excited to be launching 3.0, and as always, feel free to contact us with additional questions. Thank you.